I'm really tired.
Is it Friday?
No, it's not.
Oh,
It's
okay.
really not. I'm not sure what day it is.
A little earlier than that. The main reason... Oh, and by the way, good day.
Good day, eh?
Main reason being because, we aren't able to do one on Friday. And we've done that before, so you can go fuck yourself if you have a problem with it.
That's right.
You're catching me on a little bit of a ragey day.
Mead, Metal, MMA, and Rage podcast coming at you live Tuesday.
The Rage Cast.
Oh, man.
What are you going to do? Yeah, and it is recorded on a Tuesday. I was going to just leave people hanging, so they're like, what the fucking day is it? It's gonna you're going to catch it. You're going to catch this. It's going to hit your sweet little ears about on a Friday if technology does its job.
Just should.
And
kind of learned about it last night.
Cool. Well, and then so you're going to catch this like normal, but yeah, we're having to go a little bit early, much as we did last year whenever I'd like do nonsense like go camping or whatever.
Right.
This time around, it's not on me.
That's right. It's my fault again. Only I'm not going to International Fight Week like the last time.
Yeah. Off to bigger and better things.
Who knows?
International Fight Week probably might be one of the best reasons for missing this, but
That is true. That's true. It did at least have something to do with the podcast itself.
And so this episode we're doing as a pre-record. The next one we'll be doing live, but it will also involve UFC weekend as we'll be taking the show on the road to Austin.
Yeah, God, it's crazy to say, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Had somebody want to know if we'd go as far as St. Louis. When I threw them a number, then like, no, that's okay.
No. Enough for like some beer and pizza then, dude? Something?
We aren't doing this shit for our health
That's true.
because it's kind of actually the opposite of that.
If Uncle Dana were to get a hold of us,
Yeah, probably, but I think they want like former fighters and general dickheads to do their.
we'll find
UFC
Jason
stuff.
Mayhem Miller. He ain't doing nothing.
Well,
If he's not in jail, I don't think he's in jail.
let's get ready to
He
say,
might
wait
be
a
in
minute, are you
jail.
Sure, he might. I'm pretty sure dude's in jail.
I think he just had to answer for a lot of shit all at one time, so he might be.
See, but the UFC wanted the the fandom of Snoop Dogg to bolster their ranks of people involved in tangential UFC shit. So
I bought UFC 3. I don't know if I mentioned that last Friday.
the for the Xbox one. Yeah.
And the knockout mode comes back.
Oh, that's the one where you there's no submissions. It's just
You just tag someone 5 times, and that 5th punch puts them down.
Ah, okay.
Punch or kick. But instead of hearing Rogan and Goldberg, you don't even hear Rogan and Anik. You hear fucking Snoop Dogg.
Really?
Yeah, I learned that the other day.
Is it only on the knockout?
Thankfully, yes.
Oh God. Yeah. I'd be wanting some of my cash back.
The guy that talks shit about the biggest draw in UFC after he lost to Mayweather,
Right.
is your knockout mode guy.
That I mean,
I don't get it.
and you had kind of a tepid response to UFC 3 as it is.
Yeah.
And I kind of value your opinion on that game quite a bit. Well, and a lot of other games, but I really, really feel a lot less inclined to buy it in just the last 20 seconds now.
Yeah, I mean, if you had like a GameFly account, fucking pick it up on that. Play it for a week and then send it back.
Yeah. The only things I'm looking forward to this year, Far Cry 5 is coming out in the next month.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2 sometime late spring, early summer.
October 2018, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, they moved it back again.
I saw that today.
Well, isn't that something?
They were talking about like a rumored battle royale mode or something like that.
Just knock it off.
And it had mentioned in there like, in the game now slated for October 2018 release.
Oh, shit. Well, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. It was originally going to be fall of 2017, so now fall of 2018.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot like, I don't know, I have a funny feeling Yari might be behind this from Winter Sun. It's going so far.
Red Dead needs a Kickstarter.
And Last of Us 2, the ever favorite zombie game, is quite linear, but it's a good tale.
Oh, absolutely. Any game that can tell a really good story, because that's become a big thing.
Yeah.
Like the Telltale games, the Game of Thrones game.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Very
There's only one.
There is one, yeah. No, well, and that's the whole thing, and they're linear as hell, but if it's a good tale, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Offer replayability.
Obviously, you've stumbled into something weird, a universe unlike our own. Normal. You're on the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. Welcome to all the newcomers. We had a lot of weird new followers on the page this week.
Yeah, I know. That free Facebook boost certainly gave us a little bit of a jump.
Yeah. You did put it down as we're located in Juarez, right?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Juarez, Nova Scotia. Just to really keep them off track.
But nonetheless, welcome to yous that are joining us for the first time. where we come together and talk about 3 of our favorite topics eventually, having to do with mead, metal, and MMA. And it's funny, the number of people that are kind of bummed out that you're no longer like providing tales from the hotel side of things is actually kind of funny. Yeah. It's actually literally kind of busting me up. It's like that was like of the Mead, Metal, MMA podcast, the favorite shit from some people. I wanted to hear what was going on with Brandon.
I'm glad that the folly that is my life can bring some joy to others.
Yeah.
I really am. Because if I couldn't do that, well, might as well just put one behind my ear.
And by the way, I should probably throw out an apology. Last week was like the drunkest I've ever been on this podcast. Ever. So, and I don't plan to make it a habit, but it might happen from time to time.
Well,
I blame it on coming off the diet and then saying, you know what? I can drink beer just like I pick up right where I left off.
Hell yeah. You high pressure washed your guts and then loaded it up with high quality Canadian liquor.
Fill up the old boiler with nothing but beer and hooch.
It's nothing but beer and chicken fingers tonight, Randy.
The Trailer Park Boys reference already.
I know, hitting it quick.
Minutes in. So that does beg the question, how's your week?
Gosh, well, it's only been 4 days.
I know, but people are going to be picking this up on a Friday. We got to have the presence of mind to address it
of course.
7 days.
That's right. It's all right.
Did you watch that football game on, what was it, Sunday or Monday?
There was a football game on.
The Super Bowl.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, not that anybody cares because it was a couple of fucking teams from way back east who really have nothing to brag about except their ties to the Revolutionary War, which happened 245.
It was fine. It was a good game. People are touting it as the greatest Super Bowl ever, but I thought we had just had that a year ago.
Yeah. Oh, they'll tell you that shit every year.
Yeah.
I'm telling them, it's like, I didn't watch it. And then they look at me like I'm lying to them. It's like, no, I didn't watch it at all.
It's like when you go to a strip club and you're like, that is the greatest time I've ever had at a strip club.
Of course.
Then you go back.
Till the next time
you're like, God damn, that was the greatest time I've ever had at a strip club.
That's exactly right.
I was more interested with the reaction of the winners. Because if New England had won, Boston would have probably been pretty tame.
Well,
because shit.
They win every
year,
right?
How can you go crazy over something that's a moderately regular occurrence over the past 10 years?
Right.
Philly, however,
hadn't won shit in a long time.
And the fans reacted thusly. I guess trying to grease up the polls did no fucking good.
No, didn't they set fire to parts of the town and shit?
Oh yeah, I mean they basically.
Who do you think you are, Vancouver?
It's so I don't get it.
Yeah, win a championship, burn down your town.
Yeah, God, I hope we never get a pro team here in New Mexico.
Yeah. Well, in some ways, I kind of do. Put it right smack in the middle of Albuquerque.
Oh my God! The night Central burned to the ground.
Yeah, it would be like it would almost be more like a sterilization. So
yeah, let's let them have this championship this year.
But so I don't know. I know the Phillies won a World Series back early '80s. I want to say.
Yeah.
I don't think 76ers won shit in my lifetime.
God, no. Even in the Julius Erving days?
Yeah, but that's the ABA, right? Maybe early NBA, but I thought it was ABA. It
was like 70s, I think. Something like that. I'm not sure. I don't know fucking basketball.
Philadelphia Flyers.
No, they're up there in a neck of the woods where a team from the Northeast probably is going to make a deep run into the playoffs.
New Jersey Devils would beat them every year.
Yeah.
That was way back when they had Keith Primo as their big bruiser type and everything else, but you can't get me fired up about anything going on for Philadelphia sports.
No, last time I was fired up for Philly was when Fresh Prince was on TV.
Yeah. Well,
and that shit happened in Bel Air.
And then the big claim to fame is always their Philly cheesesteak, which is basically just, I don't know, really bad grades of beef trimmed really thin with a cheese whiz poured over the top.
Oh, man, that's really weird, too.
Yeah.
Because there was a place here in town.
Yeah,
wasn't it that was on
Lone Wolf? Is that right?
Yeah,
Gray Wolf or something?
Something Wolf Cafe or whatever.
Right. Well, they were from Philly.
Yeah, and it was cheese sauce on a steak sandwich.
Yeah. Well, back in the old days, it used to be what was that white? The white cheese, provolone.
Yeah.
They used to put provolone on the top of them and shit like that. But no, apparently there's an evolution the last 30, 40 years where now it's basically cheese whiz.
God, that's disgusting.
It is absolutely disgusting.
I'd make it my own and like put queso on it instead.
Well, that'd be a step up.
Fuck yeah. I mean, that's ridiculous. Velveeta and steak.
Yeah, not a fan. So nothing going on this week then?
Nah, goddamn, outside of head to Wyoming for a week tomorrow morning.
Yeah. What is it? February?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, maybe you can go down to like South Texas in August.
Look, I've established on the show that I don't take into consideration timing. I've been to Vegas at its coldest. I've been to Vegas at its fucking hottest.
Yeah.
And I'm about to be somewhere where, hell, at least it's going to be consistently cold. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
If I get up there and it's like 70 degrees, I'm going to be a little pissed.
I don't think you have to worry about that shit.
I'm glad.
I think there's going to be nothing but like fucking negative wind chills and all that fun shit. So.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right.
It's consistency I'm looking for.
Sure. Yeah, I've got really nothing to go on. I mean, I got a lot of rage going on today.
Well, there was some rage you were bringing up yesterday that I want to bring up again.
Okay.
And it has to do with a little town in Northern Carolina by the name of Mayberry.
Yeah, see, so Netflix has on, God, I have no idea how many seasons, but I think they've got the whole goddamn thing, the Andy Griffith Show, right?
Yeah.
I try to find, I don't know, just some humble, I don't know, bits of Americana occasionally to keep
nostalgia.
me feeling connected to this planet once in a while.
God, and you went there. You went to Mayberry?
Yeah, I don't want anything complicated. And there's nothing less complicated than sitcoms in the 1950s and 60s.
Oh, shit. Put it on Dick Van Dyke.
Well, do they have that one on there?
Yeah, Dick Van Dyke show's on Netflix.
I don't know. That might be where I go next, but well, maybe not, because basically it is real. But what I once watched as a child and as a young adult, and derive some glee or some joy from it, I can't do it now.
No, really?
No, and I've been doing this on a long binge watch since like going back to like before Thanksgiving. So like 3 episodes a day or whatever. But see, seasons back then are like 30 some odd episodes, right?
Yeah.
You know, so if you're dealing with like 8 or 9 seasons, Jesus, you're talking about a volume of shows.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I watch 3 or 4 a day, and they're only like 20 minutes long, 19, 20 minutes long. So when I'm on a lunch break, then hey, you know, I catch 3 episodes, whatever. Some days more, some days less.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I'm looking at this show now and taking it all in with my current eyes, where I am in life now, not with where I was. And as it turns out, there's a lot of terrible shit going on in the town of Mayberry. You know, the first couple of seasons, well, you had, the character of Barney Fife, played by Don Knotts.
Of course.
Because that's before Don Knotts got famous and moved on to bigger and better things and made a lot more money. But that's the whole problem. The character of Barney Fife is awful on the show.
Yeah.
He goes and provides like a condescending tone for Andy when Andy's thinking about backing out of a relationship or whatever. But yet, there he is on the phone with Juanita while he's over there kicking boots with Thelma Lou. And it's like, whoa. Barney is basically...
Barney's a player, dude.
Yeah, apparently.
Barney's a player.
But, you know, but in syndication, that's all you get. You kind of get that. You get Andy Griffith along with, Don Knotts. Those two. That's the main ones you get in syndication. Well, the thing is, there's a seedier side of Mayberry, and that's after Don Knotts leaves the show.
Yeah, no, I don't bet a lot of people realize that Don Knotts wasn't there from inception to finality.
Yeah, no, I mean, he left like 64, 65.
Yeah.
Started doing amazing things like Mr. Limpet and shit
Ghost
like that.
and Mr. Chicken. Well, that's actually kind of a good show. The show I wouldn't want to revisit.
Before he goes on to play Mr. Furley. But nonetheless, though, yeah, he kind of actually, as much of a jackass as his character was, so he leaves the show, and you can sense immediately they're trying to figure out the producers of the show are trying to figure out how do we capture that lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, who do we get here next?
So they bring on a guy that goes on, I don't remember the guy's name, and I'm not going to bother about looking it up. I'll let you Google it. But he comes on, his character's name is Warren. And he's like Floyd the Barber's cousin from Boston or some shit.
Oh.
Yeah, well, see, and you can do Floyd pretty well. But,
yeah, I know what it's like to be stressed out, man.
But he's terrible. He's like this straight straightforward guy. He's wanted to arrest like the entire ladies auxiliary in town for having a bingo game or some shit like that. But I mean,
Hey, that's gambling, and gambling's wrong.
yeah, but there's nothing really funny about him, so they cut him from the show, and there's never a word again of Warren. Oh, which I should back up and point out, Andy Taylor, the character on the show, played by Andy Griffith, had a girlfriend that was actually the chick from My Three Dads. Again, don't remember her name.
No, My Three Sons. My Three Sons.
My Three Sons.
My Three Dads. That'd be a pretty progressive show that probably hasn't premiered even here yet in this current timeline.
You'd think it'd be set in Utah, right? That'd be My Three Moms.
Yeah.
But anyway, so sorry, Mormons. But anyway, so he's dating this gal. I think Ellie. I think I think her name is Ellie. In the first season, she's gone. Second season comes around, never any mention. It's like, whoa, what happened to the gal running the pharmacy? You don't know. They just wrote her out. So same
buried in Andy's backyard.
Same as they did, maybe. Well, that's the weird thing. The guy James Best played Roscoe Coltrane on Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah,
was a semi. Well, he wasn't a regular. He was on like 3 episodes, and he was always playing a down on his luck kind of guy that knew how to play guitar. So some band came through, and of course, very telling of the time. The band was named after the guy, the such and such quartet or whatever the guy's name. But anyway, and Andy kind of plays it off and basically lets the band know that,
get in on that as well.
Yeah, you bet, that they're going to arrest the band and everything else as well if they don't let James Best in their band there. And they do, and they take him in and everything else. Well, then the last episode of season 1, then they come back to Mayberry again and everything else. And then this Ellie chick is out. Well, then the fan theory is like, well, she ran off with the band. So maybe.
Well, hey, rock singers will do it.
Well, she was dating Andy. That can't be a fun proposition.
Unless
Hanging
you
out.
like fishing and like fucking pie from Auntie.
Oh, Aunt B. Yeah, the chick that talks in falsetto all the time. That fucking just bounce off your brains all the time.
Oh my God!
I'd be throwing a rope over the shower curtain rod. Hey, Andy, you ready to come down for breakfast?
She'd be dead in the backyard right by Ellie.
That's it. I'd be like sticking my head in the microwave if they had one back then. But yeah, climb in a freezer because then back in those days you couldn't get out. They did not have the safety devices in place. They do now. But no, so they introduce this Warren guy, and they write him out, and no further word on him again. Oh, and by the way, Floyd had a stroke during the show. That's why you never see him standing after, like, the first fucking season.
Really?
Yeah, so that's why he's always sitting down. Always.
The actor.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. Shit.
Right. But anyway, so then they get rid of Warren, and then they figure out, you know what, it's no fun bringing in other law enforcement guys. We've lost the magic that was Barney Fife. So they start bringing other dummies on the show. They work in Goober, Gomer fucking
Gomer
Pyle's cousin, or whatever. And the problem is he is the show's dummy. But then they try to add depth, and they try to it's like, well, yeah, he's dumb, but he knows his American history or something like that. It's like, no. You've established he's the town idiot.
He's all about that heritage. You got that shit down.
You've spent years convincing me this guy's just nothing but a dumbass. You're not going to convince me otherwise now. And they also introduce this Howard Sprague guy. Same personality as Warren, really, but he seems really kind of sketchy, and he's also like the county treasurer. And you
Guy dealing with money, yeah.
So you get all these assholes. That's the thing. Andy Taylor is surrounded by assholes, which then you think, oh, that poor guy, the whole town of Mayberry is screwed, and he's got to deal with it. Well, it turns out, you know what? He puts up with it. It's kind of on him now at this point. His son is like, he turns into a teenager, and and as a teenager, then he's an asshole because that's what teenagers are good at being. And Aunt B is turns more venal and proud and shit. There's an episode, so his Howard Sprague guy goes on like some kind of it's like a laugh-in thing or something like that. Because basically by that point they're just ripping off every show on network TV.
Right.
And so he goes on and he's doing a comedic bit about everybody in the entire town of Mayberry. Then he comes back and everybody's pissed off, and mad because he mentioned him by name on a show and he made him look foolish. Well, and then suddenly some guy comes wandering through town. Hey, you're famous. Tells Floyd the barber, you're famous. And he's does his own, or whatever.
It's like a weird mix between a raper and George Takei.
I'm pretty sure we're waiting for Hollywood to kind of reveal some of its darker side too. But
I'll buy the book when it comes out.
but then he tells Howard, "Yeah, you're famous. I heard you on this show." And then so suddenly everybody in town goes, "Hey, Howard, you're great." Blah 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 blah. And then the episode ends. It's about how petty that the town can be. And I thought, surely it wasn't this way in the first season, second season. Not so much, not as bad. And it really does. It reveals humans are assholes, is what it really is. That's your takeaway from the Andy Griffith Show. If I ruined your perception, they this is how a small town should be. And you can solve every problem in the world in 30 minutes, or 20 minutes in this case, no commercials. No. It's what a pox that town is on humanity.
Exactly.
Did I go on long enough?
Oh, yeah, I think a 10-minute rant on how Mayberry is completely fuckered up. Is,
on a show that hadn't been on in 50 years.
That's right. We're really going to hit our 18 to 35 demographic here.
Jesus. Sorry about that. But
that's all right. No, it had to be said.
Yeah, and my problem is I'm still not at the end. I've got to be getting close to it, though. I can sense the guy that was on Mama's Family, and then they converted it to Mayberry RFD.
Oh, fuck, yeah, right.
I feel that's coming on soon, because I really feel a lot of the energy getting lost on the show.
Yeah.
But
Mama's Family is pretty good.
I guess. God, it's another one that I don't know. I'd probably have to go back and find a reason to hate it as well. You'll have to give me time. You have to give me time.
I'll just give you the whole Nick at Night back catalog. And you got to find something wrong with like Car 54.
Yeah. No, you can't throw me MacGyver though, because that show is solid gold. So.
Well, yeah, we're talking 80s. That was when network TV was at its peak.
Yeah.
You had MacGyver.
Rip Torn's birthday was today. He was on some bullshit show. God, in the 80s now I don't remember it. It was on the tip of my tongue and I lost it. But there were some interesting shows in the 80s, to say the least.
Oh, fucking A.
I don't really mean good, but I mean interesting.
Yeah.
The guy played B.J. Honeycutt on MASH. Mike Farrell. He's 69, 70 years old today.
Wow.
Yeah. So that means that dude was already like, it was like, what, 30s, late 30s by the time MASH was on?
Yeah. And Alan Alda was kind of already, like, what, middle age when MASH
Alan Alda already had his grips of power into that show and already made it terrible. The only thing, if you're watching and Colonel Potter's on the show, nothing against that guy, but the show is not going to be good. Yeah. I mean, it was a comedy under McLean Stevenson, and you had Trapper John, and you had the whole thing going on. Alan Alda started taking over a lot of producer shit and started directing episodes. No, it got bad. It got bad after that. Because then he wanted to make it a thing to change humanity. Look, it's a comedy. Make me laugh. That's all I need. That's all I need.
Alan Alda always struck me as like a really shitty Groucho Marx.
Yeah, it's funny because he'd always said his comedy was kind of derived from Groucho, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but Groucho Marx wasn't trying to, make some kind of a weird social statement either.
No, that guy was just trying to be weird, period.
And then he started appearing, wasn't he like on like L.A. Law or one of those? I don't know. And he played he was on as a semi-regular. And same thing, though. Same thing. That's the dude's mantra is maybe I'll make you laugh. Probably not. But really, I'm here to make you think and to make a social statement.
Right.
And who needs that shit? We're watching TV for escapism, goddammit.
That's right. I want to see the antics of Mayberry, goddammit.
Oh, God, they make things even worse on that. Howard Sprague gets married to some floozy that kind of blew into town, like runs a diner. So he gets married. Andy Taylor's on this show for like 5, 6, 7 seasons, dating the same chick, Helen Crump. Never any marriage there. Isn't that a little weird?
God damn. That was a
weird
show, time.
That show. Oh, well.
Yeah, goddamn. Really does make me want to go back and watch some of the old shit, too.
It brings the rage if you watch it. If you watch it with my eyes.
Goddamn.
I'm sure we're going to get some bullshit comment from somebody.
Hey, I fucking love Andy Griffith. Maybe we'll go back and love him.
Maybe if Kevin were to calm down a little bit, get a hobby. I don't know.
We're very passionate about our 50s sitcoms here.
Mead, Metal MMA. We start with Mead this time around, and Jesus, we've got some progress.
Yeah,
bottled, on a lot of fronts.
Labeled, shrink wrapped. Longships is ready to sail.
Longships is ready for those that may have any interest, as our donators may find. Here's the interesting thing: I didn't realize we did not do a 2017 batch.
Yeah, I can't believe we went a whole year without it.
Well, we bottled 2016 really late, and so we went into 2017 with a pretty good inventory and didn't feel the need to. Well, and we started the batch in 2017, but, obviously we decided to take our time with it. Here we are early part of February, and that batch is it's done. And Troublemaker is not far behind.
Yeah, try to maybe get that bottled when we get back from Austin.
Yeah, which for certain people, we'll see what we can do about pulling a couple of bottles beforehand. But
Right.
because he is our best donator. I'm not going to mention him by name. He pointed out last week we didn't mention him by name. I'm not mentioning him this
He's
time
the
either.
master donator.
I'm not going to mention him again.
Name is Merrill Dobbins.
But
Ken Wobby Beeler.
But anyway, we've got our final 2 batches, at least for this time around. Before, like I said last time around, we're going to be looking to move into trying to work on some other stuff a little bit. It's kind of like you have a band, and band goes and split off, do their own thing, kind of put out a solo album, then they kind of come back together.
Right. Yeah, you got to have that breather.
Yeah, which I think the Mead business is going to need that too, because our inventory is going to be kind of ridiculous for a little bit. So
it's good to have a proper back stock of things I can buy.
Well, actually, you would be the number 1 donator, but
Right. Step it up, bitches. Step it up.
So what's in the works? Nothing really, but I don't know. It kind of depends. Here's the whole thing too, and then I had a couple of people end up getting after me saying, "Oh, we didn't know you guys are still doing meat." Well, yeah, we are. Shit. The assumption is assume until you hear otherwise. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
So if they end up kind of stepping up some efforts, we'll probably go ahead and gather up the dosh required. There's a early 2000s, late 90s, 2000s term for you. The amount of scratch required to put together some more with the right proper honey. I found this much with the Longships. The honey, I've always said the honey is very important anyway. It's vital. We'll take it a step beyond that, because I found with the wrong honey, it throws the batch completely out of balance.
Yeah.
Case in point, 2016 Troublemaker compared to 2018 Troublemaker, which we're going to do a side-by-side next week from our podcast from UFC Austin. Yeah. So, we'll definitely compare some notes. But 2018, I think, is probably going to be a superior batch just because it was a more neutral honey.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then as far as Troublemaker goes, we'll have some. We're parsing that out to actually our biggest donator is going to probably have quite a few bottles anyway. But we'll have a limited run of that one available.
Yeah.
Very limited. But
right.
But nonetheless, though, that's kind of where that's at. I'll probably consider starting another batch of something. I don't know what. The nice thing with Mead, most of the time, on most of the batches we do, we don't really have to commit immediately. We do with Troublemaker, a couple of the fruit batches you kind of have to, but by and large, we can kind of start something very neutral, a very vanilla kind of a batch 1-esque kind of a thing with really not a lot in it, just straight Mead. And then we can kind of convert it once we get to secondary. Right. So maybe we'll look into that. I don't know. I'm not in a big rush.
Yeah, it's an option, but yeah, like you said, we're not in a big rush. I think we're gonna be fine on the bottle count.
Right. Yeah, and I mean I do. I kind of want to get into beer a little bit and maybe brag it and see what kind of happens and see. I mean that's kind of it. It's giving us a little bit of a chance to be a little bit more experimentary, which I think is going to help us in the long run.
Sure. Well, that's how we got started.
Yeah. And experimentary, I know is not a word, but you can suck it. Line forms.
A bowl.
Line forms to the right. So that's our Mead update for this week. Metal update. Well, here's the thing. We're doing this, as we had mentioned a little bit earlier, pre-recording it, so we don't really have a bunch of new releases to put out there this week or anything else. That doesn't mean we can't talk about metal, however.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few neat things going on. Ozzy Osbourne has announced his farewell tour.
So following on the heels of his farewell tour with Black Sabbath.
That's right. Apparently he's closing shop on all fronts. The No More Tours 2, which because apparently back in '92 he had a tour called No More Tours when he put out No More Tears.
Yeah, and just like every other artist out there who retires, eventually they think, it'd be nice if we had money again.
Oh, God. I think Ozzy will never not have money.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, he's 100 years old.
Right.
The man is
married to a crazy person.
Oh, fuck. My God, that woman she's incredible.
Yeah.
She's incredible. I don't see how Ozzy does it.
My problem is everything's always frozen in time on album covers. That first album cover that Black Sabbath had of the same name.
Yeah.
That was his first wife.
Right in front of the creepy building.
Yeah, like the reddish cover, and yeah. And you look and go, whatever happened to that broad? Well, my problem is, in my mind, she's still that person.
Ugh.
Even though she's not.
Yeah.
They had tack on an extra 48 years or whatever, so.
Well, you get Ozzy on, like, Speak of the Devil album cover, and then you look at him in this picture I'm looking at for this announced tour. It's time.
Yeah.
This guy, I mean, the fact that he's been able to go this far is a testament.
Is he starting to look like the mascot of Iron Maiden?
Oh, God. Pretty damn close.
Ugh.
Starting to look like Eddie a little bit.
Yeah.
Cool thing is he will be in Albuquerque
Wow.
on a Sunday,
Yeah.
September 30th. Sled Amphitheater.
What I'm looking at potentially, and don't put a whole lot of stock in this, but I may. I only get like 3 personal days a year.
Yeah.
And like and a Monday through Friday of vacation in July, and that's it. So I kind of try to be really, really careful with where I take my time off, and I'm going to be using a personal day for our UFC trek. I'm looking at potentially using one. I want to say it's like 17th or 18th of May. I don't know the exact date, but it is a Friday in Denver. Pallbearer
Right.
is playing, and that might be our next road trip, maybe.
Yeah. Gosh, I sure would like to be working by then.
Well, Brandon, if you're still unemployed, maybe
I'm still employed.
3 months from now. Shit.
Foo Fighters. We've all heard of them.
Yeah.
I guess these bands have these lists on their live shows. Like, hey, don't bring these in. We're not going to let you bring these in.
Okay.
Like
knives?
Yeah, like Danzig, don't want no phones. You're going to leave your phone at the fucking door like an adult. Foo Fighters is a little different.
Okay. What's Dave Grohl and company doing now?
Well, here's what you cannot bring to their shows.
Okay.
Bags larger than, I'm not down with my millimeter measurements, but no big bags.
Okay.
No coolers.
Right.
No commercially prepared food, including takeaways.
So no Stofers.
Sounds a little weird there.
All right.
Unflattering photos of Ryan Seacrest.
Okay.
And as we go down the list here, cans or glass containers, sure. Mixtapes, not in CD format.
Oh, wow. So you can't bring your favorite cassettes with you to a Foo Fighter show.
No alcohol or illicit drugs. No pirated VHS tapes of Land of the Lost, the series. Prams, strollers, rain, shade umbrellas, cream magazines that do not mention Ted Nugent.
Wow. They're quite specific with their demands.
Yep.
They sound actually like some hostage takers.
Air horns and loud hailers, umbrellas or other sun rain shelters, beige or mustard-colored macrame wall hangings, leg warmers, selfie sticks, skateboards, rollerblades, scooters, free radicals, including antioxidants or Hong Kong Phooey, as voiced by Scatman Crothers. Projectile objects, derogatory press clippings, Shania Twain, weapons, any pencil that isn't a number 2 pencil, wallet chains, laser lights, homemade nut milk, long chains of spikes of any nature, and they ended it, the serious one. Items in the opinion, management, or security could cause harm or public nuisance.
Which is pretty much anything having to do with the pencils and a lot of other items mentioned on the list, as they say, would imply that are okay. But